And now, World Improv Network proudly presents Community Court.
When two parties cannot solve a dispute, community court is there to solve the problem. See?
All rise for the most honorable Judge Geno Atkins.
Yeah. What's going down? I'm so excited to be here in court, I don't want to do any kind of work outside of that. I like the AC. I like to throw down some judgment, Cliff. And and it's my pleasure, an absolute pleasure for the first time to be sitting in the court with you.
Oh, back at you, Geno. I'm looking forward to getting some of Geno's justice up in here.
Yeah, that's right. I'm going to be laying down that smackdown like nobody's business. But we got a doozy today.
Yep.
That's right, Junior. As your daddy used to say, we got a doozy today. And he ain't been around for a couple weeks. And even though Father's Day was last week, I don't know why he's back. I know, Junior. I done never took care of a baby before neither. All week I had to take care of you, but that's cool. You're a good-looking kid. I like you. Bailiff Cliff likes you. So we're going to make it through here.
Sometimes.
And we're going to get right to this doozy, Cliff.
Yeah.
Man.
It's a real Midwest Donnybrook.
That's what I'm talking about. It's a Donnybrook. It's a Midwest smackdown. It's keeping it real. We getting a beat down in the sports world, and that has to do with the Chicago Cubs and the Cleveland Cavaliers, right?
Mm-hmm.
All of us just known last week that the Cleveland Cavaliers won their NBA championship for the first time. It's been 50-something years since Cleveland got something. Yeah, that's right.
Yep. That's me. That's all me. You are welcome, Cleveland.
Yeah, that's right. And then who the man that's jumping over here and all excited coming in here waving his Cavs banner and got his Cavs dancers over here is Dan Gilbert. He's the owner of the Cavs. Dan, you got a problem right now because the man across from you, Mr. Joe Madden, the manager of the Chicago Cubs, is suing you for winning a championship before they won a championship.
Yeah, that's right, Dan. Nobody even likes you. It's LeBron's team. I don't even own the Cubs, but it's my team.
I'm sorry, Mr. Madden. I can't hear you over these championship rings in my ears.
You mean that one championship ring in that one ear? You can probably hear out of the other ear,
no,
right?
I'm deaf in one ear. Little known fact.
Well,
so maybe get your facts straight before you get angry.
Okay.
Loser.
Well,
all right. Let me jump in here before this becomes some smash down Midwest fisticuffs. And first of all, you were saying right over there, Mr. Madden, that you assume because Chicago's a bigger city. The Cubs have not won a championship since 1908, and therefore that Cleveland should defer to Chicago in priority in the championship realm. Is that correct?
Absolutely, sir. The most important fact is Chicago is a better city than Cleveland. The second most important fact is we have better fans than Cleveland, and the third most important fact is we are hotter.
Hey, Junior, man, he ain't talking about the temperature. He's talking about the people there.
No, I'm talking about the people.
Yeah, that's right, Junior. I've been to Cleveland, too.
Oh, well, look, just to be fair, comparing the hotness of Chicago residents and Cleveland residents is, it's like comparing what tastes better, a McDonald's burger that's been ran over by a truck or a Burger King burger that's been ran over by a truck. Neither one of them are all that appealing.
The best burger is in Chicago at Portillo's.
Oh.
All right. So what you're trying to say here is this is a little bit deeper seated, it sounds like, than just the fact of, bowing way to the bigger city with the longer drought. What you're really saying is you're feeling a little bit sad because your people, your good-looking people like a Burger King ran over Whopper, is not being able to celebrate with the pickles and the mayo like the guys in Cleveland are right now.
They're not being able to celebrate like they should. I watched that march you had. That's a horrible march. You guys don't do it right. If it would have been in Chicago, it would have been so much better, and it should have been in Chicago, and that's why I'm suing, Geno.
I don't know what to tell you. Maybe you should just get a better team over there. I took it upon myself. I, Dan Gilbert, took it upon myself to write a letter to excoriate LeBron when he left and thus bring him back, hat in hand, to bring Cleveland what it so rightly deserves. Not 0, but 1 championship.
All right. So Joe, what kind of punitive restitution do you want here to serve on the Cavaliers? I see right here in your yeah, that's right, Junior. You're saying right now that everyone in Cleveland should march all the way to Chicago to Cubs Field, to Wrigley Field, and make a ring around the stadium and bow down and apologize to the Cubs.
Okay,
That's exactly how it's going to happen, too. Once I win this case, that's exactly how it's going to happen. Every fat person in Cleveland, which is every single person in Cleveland, is going to walk up to Chicago.
Oh, please.
And bow down to Wrigley Field and the number one team in all of professional sports, the Chicago Cubs.
Oh, please. Judge Atkins, I would just like to point out that I myself have never been to Chicago, and I will never go to Chicago. That Midwestern,
The wind.
I'm going to call it a pit. I'm going to call it a pit because that's what it is. It's muggy. It's gross. It's right next to a lake. The less impressive of the Great Lakes, not the Great Lake of Erie, which is far and away the best Great Lake.
Well, that's a good point you got there, Mr. Gilbert. But the thing that I got a problem here logistically, all right, I can understand Joe's wanting to come through here and file a suit against you, but logistically, how are all the fat people from Cleveland going to be able to make that march without passing out from dehydration or without just dying of a heart attack, along I-80 or I-70 heading towards Chicago?
Well, it's not a concern, Judge, because we will not be making that march.
I
And
gotta
if we
make
are, the way it's going to happen is it's just going to be an extension of our championship parade.
Okay, that's a good point. What if the king himself, LeBron James, led the troops like Xerxes, right, in 300 to go all the way to Chicago? And if he leads the charge, do you think your citizens would mobilize and follow him blindly all the way to Chicago to Wrigley Field?
I think, of course. I think the entire city of Cleveland will follow LeBron wherever he chooses to lead us.
I'm not even asking for LeBron to go up there because LeBron's a personal friend of mine.
Oh.
This actually has a deep-rooted seating in me and Dan Gilbert's past, Gino.
Now,
We went to the same fraternity at DeVry University,
Joe.
and Dan used to haze the living hell out of me.
Oh, that's what's going on here. This is a deeper-seated thing.
You remember that, Dan?
Oh yeah. Oh, I remember little Joey buckets.
Yeah.
Keeping that little bucket next to your bed because you can't make it through the night without having to pee.
Yeah. That was a problem that was 20, 30, 40. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it was a problem though, and you deserve to be made fun of for it.
Oh, Mr. Madden, then. I mean, Junior's laughing like crazy at you. Tell me a little bit about what happened. How was he hazing you? How was Mr. Gilbert hazing you back in your DeVry University days?
Well, a lot of people know that Dan Gilbert's a big fan of Ron Diaz rum.
Okay.
And he made me drink a whole handle of rum.
Okay.
And that night, God forbid, I urinated myself, and he sent out messages to every single sorority. He took a picture of me, wrote him personal letters. It pretty much ruined my reputation at DeVry University. I'm not happy about it.
Your Honor, I would like to enter into evidence. Evidence. This is a flyer that I put up. It's a picture of.
How do you still have those? God, please take that down, Gino. This is a court of law. This is not supposed.
Oh, my goodness.
As you can see.
Oh, Mr. Madden. Mr. Madden.
Yeah.
I've never seen an adult or a child ever been demeaned like this. I can't believe that you actually put yourself in that situation to be on this flyer like that.
If there weren't 4 policemen between us right now, Dan, I'd go over there and I'd personally kick your butt.
Yeah, but you can't. Your Honor, and I would just like to say, if this is what happens to Mr. Madden on a just an average night of hazing and drinking, what's going to happen should the Cubs actually win a championship? I contend that Mr. Madden would not be able to handle it.
Mr. Madden, what would you do about that? Would you burn down the south side of Chicago if the Cubs won a championship?
We wouldn't burn down any part of Chicago because every single person in Chicago would become a Chicago Cubs fan.
Okay.
And my past 2 years in Chicago, I've been able to build up quite a tolerance with my drinking.
Okay.
Because it's a drinking town. So I feel pretty good about partying after we win the World Series this October.
What you drinking then these days? This is a very important thing I need to know in order to make a correct ruling on this. What you drinking?
Mike's Hard Lemonade Raspberry.
A raspberry hard lemonade. Oh, say it ain't so.
Hey,
There's something
Judge,
wrong with that?
I'm going to take Junior into the bathroom because it sounds like he's getting really sick.
I can
like
see
over
that.
and over and over.
Oh, yeah, make sure that ain't no raspberry lemonade coming out of Junior right there. Thank you so
Absolutely.
much, Cliff. I appreciate that. Well, you know what? I'm kind of torn right here because I can understand, first of all, the animosity. I did not know that you, Mr. Madden, was hazed into oblivion by Mr. Gilbert. And this flyer, man, it is demeaning. I don't know how you ever got a girlfriend after that or anything.
He didn't at DeVry.
I don't know. That's tough. But I tell you what, I'm going to have to stick to the facts right here. And the Cubs have not won anything in 108 years. And the Browns did take that sunshine even before the Cavs did in the last 50-something years. Cleveland is a smaller city. They do have a smaller lake. So I'm going to say that, Mr. James, you're going to lead the march. You're going to make sure that your Mr. James is going to lead the march to Chicago. But once you get to Wrigley Field, with every citizen from Cleveland, they're going to pour out some Mike Hart lemonade for your walk. That's my ruling.
Stay tuned for Talking Points with Shabazz Davis. And make sure to give the Windcast your suggestions during the break on what topic Shabazz should swing a bat at. Next on Mile High Sports Radio.